All right, guys. So in today's video, I am going to be asking famous developers, and I'm talking about developers who own some of the top 100, top 50, and top 10 Roblox games for advice. You know, because I mean, since I'm starting my game dev journey, I might as well ask some of my friends who's been in this, who's been in this industry of game development for pretty much most of their lives. And I have top game developers like Nazny, the creator of Rivals, Preston, the creator of Pet Sim, and so much more. All right. Now, before I continue, guys, let me just tell you something. I was put on by another developer to something called vibe coding. I actually had no idea what vibe coding was, and I didn't realize that it was literally like AI creating your designs and stuff like that. Yeah, let's just say that dramatically increased I would say my creativity. Now let me explain something real quick. Over the past few days, I was actually spending most of my time trying to learn scripting, and I was very interested and intrigued in learning scripting. Now, the average person, when they find out that they have to learn scripting, they lose motivation. However, for me, I actually got intrigued by that. So then when I found out what vibe coding was, and that it was like AI, but just like a detailed version of AI, I got even more intrigued in game development. My passion with game development comes from my skill that I have, and that is creativity. I have game ideas that I've had and like stored in my Apple notepad since 2022. And the thing is, the reason why I've never acted on them was because I've always believed that I didn't have enough for a team, or I didn't know how to find a team. And let's just say that ever since I created this YouTube channel and seeing the support from you guys and seeing the amount of people following me, I now have the ability to create a proper team to execute these ideas. The way I see game ideas is the same way rappers have songs stored up in their phones or whatever, like unreleased songs. I can come up with game ideas very fast. Even today on my run, I came up with 2 different game ideas that I believe are insane. So yeah, let's just say I started messing around with old assets that I had from years ago of me trying to game develop and not. And let's just say I used vibe code to piece it all together. And I mean, it looks all right. It's not the best, but it looks kind of cool. I mean, as you can see, I have a minigun, RPG, SMG, and these are all assets from old games. Just random assets, honestly, that I commissioned. Now, what I'm going to do with the future of this project, I'm going to take this project very seriously, because in this video, when you see the advice that these top game devs gave me, it really inspired me even more. So yeah, I'm going to be hiring a full team to help me advance this game. All right. I already got the idea. I got the blueprint, the roadmap. I got the 1-year plan, the 6-month plan, and the 2-year plan for this specific game already. And I came up with that in the last few hours, which is kind of crazy. And I've been vibe coding this whole time. I had Destroy Lonely playing in the background as I was doing this stuff. Now, anyways, let's get on to the part where you guys came to this video. And that is for the advice of these top game devs, because I believe their advice can actually help some of you guys out here watching this video. And the first advice came from a developer named Phoenix Signs. Now, this was a longtime friend of mine since literally 2018, 2019, back when he made a game called Strucid, which was supposed to be a Roblox version of Fortnite. Now, after Strucid, he actually started taking college more seriously and, investing more of his time into college. And let's just say he quit development. All right, I'm gonna be honest, buddy. You quit. However, he came back recently and dropped a game called Hypershot, and that game right now has an average of 20,000 players, 25,000 players, and it's sitting at 1.1 billion place visits. Congratulations. I remember when he actually first dropped the game and he was still working at a job. He no longer works at a job now because, I mean, why would you need to? However, he did give me a piece of advice to help me with my journey. And he said, execution is always more important than the game idea itself. Don't rush the development and overlook the small details that ultimately make the moment-to-moment gameplay of the game feel fun and polished. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Can someone break that down in the comments for me? Yo, Andrew, what do you mean by this? All right, execution is always more important than the game idea itself. Okay, that is true. I believe an idea is always going to be an idea, aka a dream, if it's never acted on. That's why I got so many different game ideas dating all the way back to 2022 in my phone, because it's always just been random ideas. All right. So don't rush development though. I don't get this one. Don't rush development and overlook the small details that ultimately make the moment-to-moment gameplay of the game feel fun and polished. Oh, so what? Don't overlook that. Okay, wait. So I should make sure of that. I think I kind of understand it. Forgive me if I seem slow right now, but I'm assuming I should be paying attention to that stuff, like the stuff that makes the game feel fun. I should probably key in on making it better in the future. Forgive me if I seem slow right there, but thank you for the advice, bro. However, we got a lot more game developers too. So the next advice is from a creator, well, a developer called Nazny. And it's so funny because we've also been friends since like 2017, 2018, 2017, back when Skype was a thing. This was before Discord was a thing. We were friends back during Skype, and we all were in like a Skype group chat years ago, which is crazy. However, he made the game Rivals. He also had Golf. That was when I remember playing that game years ago. But his game is called Rivals, and it's currently sitting at 196,000 CCU, which is absolutely insane. But he did leave me a piece of advice to help me with my journey, and that was, one thing I learned while working on Rivals is to not be afraid to pivot ideas. Rivals originally started off as a PvE zombie game, and during development we ran into a lot of issues and eventually realized that the game just wasn't that fun. Instead of letting everything go to waste, we kept certain parts and pivoted into something different. Sometimes it's better to change direction than force something to work just because you sunk a lot of time into it. That is a W idea. Okay, that is W advice. And I am extremely thankful of that because I do think I am going to run into problems like that in the future where I have game ideas and I don't want to just end up like, just deleting everything when I start running into problems. And I think, I don't know if this is true, but I think a lot of game developers now, or aspiring game developers, do that. Like that happens a lot for other ones, like smaller game devs. I think that they run into problems where they just end up scratching the whole thing. I don't know, but that's a really good, W advice. Thank you, bro. And the next one was by an OG game developer. Bro started game developing at a really early age with a lot of hits, a ton of hits. And now, bro's still doing games. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's in game acquisition now. However, his name is Preston, the creator of big games. All right. I mean, dude, do I need to say more? Like he has a game literally sitting at 103K right now. He has all these games right here. He also did Giant Survival years ago. He has a bunch of games. However, his advice was pretty simple. All right. It was, you need to be passionate to make a hit game. Every top game was created by a passionate dev. Well, was created by passionate devs. Money should always be a byproduct. And that is 100% true. See, I see it the same way in terms of YouTube, right? Like if you really want a pop in video, like a video to hit 1 million views, you need to really plan it out all the way and just invest more time into it. So that was W advice. I can't even lie. W advice. Thank you, Preston, my boy. But anyways, now it's time for the next game dev. And the next one is from a creator that I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know why I keep saying creator. I think I'm so used to just like YouTube. I think it's still creator. Is by a developer that we all know. He is the creator and founder of Do Big, Johnny. All right. And as you guys can see, Do Big, oh my gosh, 1.1 million players playing our game, 178 billion total play sessions. Let's just look at all the games under the belt of Do Big. Grow a Garden 2, Still a Brain Rot, Murders vs. Sheriffs, Fish, Grow a Garden, Blue Lock Rivals, Blade Ball, Merge and Nuke, Baddies, Dusty Trip, Muscle Legends, Build a Plane, Escape Tsunami for Brain Rots, Monkey Bomb Tag, Knockout, Build a Brain Brother, plus 349 more games. Oh my gosh. All right. However, his piece of advice that he gave to me, and it's literally funny, he just gave it to me as I'm recording this, was he said, "What's good, bro? That's sick." Because the question that I asked him, actually, I said, "Hey, bro, I just started a game dev channel to document my journey into learning game development, and I'm doing a video where I asked top game devs for one piece of advice that I should know in the future." So this is what he replied. He replied, What's good, bro? That's sick. With your work ethic, I'm sure you're going to be a beast. Hopefully, you're still doing content on your other channels too, though. You're really talented. And I am. I'm still maintaining my 4 videos a day on my other channels. All right. If I had one piece of advice that's pretty broad, it'd be get as many shots on goal as possible. Ship games, test ideas, and don't worry about making everything perfect or any crazy level of polish unless it's an anime-esque game or similar target audience. The goal early on is finding fun core loops that actually resonate with players. Fail fast, learn why, and take those lessons into the next game. The harder you work, the luckier you'll get. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for the advice. But Johnny, you know, a few months ago, we went to a restaurant and over here in Miami, I think you remember, it was Coat. And you did say that you would give me 10 million Robux. I'm waiting. All right. Look, I don't want to be the one to remind you, but I have to be the one to remind you. So if you're watching this video, I'm waiting for those 10 mil Robux. Definitely will be useful in terms of, you know, the game dev journey, you know, investing. All right, but anyways, on to the next. And the next developer is Kroo, the original creator of Blue Lock Rivals. And not only that, Basketball Zero. Yes, he took the anime sports niche of game development to the next level. All right. If I'm being honest, I loved Blue Lock Rivals. And I loved Basketball Zero. I was actually no-lifing those games when they first came out. However, he did give me a strong piece of advice. And honestly, I think he was the dev that gave me the most advice. And you guys are going to see this right now. So here's what he said. Yo, sounds pretty dope. Here's my advice. Number 1, start small. A lot of devs try to make huge, ambitious projects as one of their first projects. See, I'm not gonna lie, guys, before I continue, I'm noticing a pattern. They're all saying, stop trying to overanalyze everything. Stop trying to make the best project right off rip. Just drop. That's what I'm analyzing. But let's continue. He said, they see players ask for crazy stuff like open world RPGs, etc. But in my opinion, when you're starting, your goal should be to learn from each project you work on, not try to release a diamond as your first attempt. I made 30 demo games before releasing my first game. Also, you have to understand the concept of MVP, minimum viable product. When you have a game idea, like an anime sports game, for example, instead of trying to make every single feature and detail possible, then releasing it, be a bit easier on yourself. Focus on what makes the, and I'm assuming, game W. All right. But he left 2 more pieces of advice. Number 2, since you're a content creator, I think you have an advantage. Most people think content creators' advantage is just the audience, but in my opinion, it's more than content creators. But in my opinion, it's more so content creators understand how you build videos to retain viewers, like using X music or having specific edits or specific hype moments to hook in viewers. It's the same for games. You have to think about it like, how can you make the players feel hyped/hooked within the first 2 minutes or even 30 seconds? It's pretty, I never thought about it that way, honestly. I've been doing YouTube. For those that don't know, I've been doing YouTube for over 10 plus years. I started in 2016 and it is now 2026. And I believe, I'm pretty sure it's been 10 years now. Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah. 6 days ago made it officially 10 years of me doing YouTube. What the heck? All right. Let's continue though. Number 3. Keep it simple. A lot of people just overcomplicate their games. Then they're like, wow, my quality game gets no players, but these brain rot games do. It's not about genre. It's just about, is your game simple enough that the audience that's playing it can enjoy the best features of your game without a tutorial? Like when I made Blue Lock Rivals, I simplified every soccer game mechanic so people could understand how the game works extremely fast without learning 100 keybinds. This mindset helps a lot, in my opinion. That is a W. And then he said, hope this helps. Good luck, my friend. Thank you, my G. Yo, that was, honestly, this advice will help a lot. I think all of the advice that I've been told so far is going to help me a lot with game development. All right, but dude, W, thank you, bro. And the next one is by another good friend. Actually, all these guys are my good friends. Tensil, the creator of Slap Battles. Bro, Tensil's funny, but his advice was actually really good too, all right? He said, don't get too ambitious with your first few games. Better to have one small release game than 10 massive unreleased ones. That is so true. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think that plays a good part on YouTube also, because there was times around the time, like a few years ago, where I was trying to like map out, like plan so many different YouTube videos without even really dropping as much. And I realized that even though quality is good in terms of you know, the stuff that you push out, what matters more is quantity at first when you have nothing. I think when you're an established developer and you're established in a community, then you can start pushing out quality more. Or when your game actually touches the algorithm, then it makes sense to start adding quality. But I think off rip, the first thing you should do is start going with quantity. And that's what I'm getting from all the advice that they're giving me. However, let's continue. He said that never gets released. Okay. And then he also said, also use funnels to see when players leave the game. Don't just force your way to the front page with ads. W. See, I actually didn't know what funnels was when he told me this. However, I had a friend explain to me what funnels was, and now I know, and it will help me a lot. It's literally the same way with YouTube, because with YouTube, you can see when a person clicks off of the video, like exactly what timestamp using the retention graphs. So it's literally the same thing. Like you could see what causes people in game to like leave the game. I like that. Next person. And the next piece of advice was from Armen, the original creator of Plants vs. Brainrots, which oh my gosh, it pulled 4.6 billion place visits. That's insane. However, his piece of advice was, okay, wait, he said, yo, sure, I can give you a piece of advice. When you're trying to make games, don't focus on how much money you can make from them. Don't make money your main goal. Put all your energy into figuring out how to make the game better. If all you care about is money, your games will probably end up worse because your attention is in the wrong place. And if the game doesn't make as much money as you expected, you'll lose motivation and eventually give up. I like that he like capitalized exactly what he wanted me to like see. But if your goal is to become better at making games, then even when a game fails, you'll still gain experience from it. You keep improving, learning, and getting better with every project. Eventually, you might make something genuinely great that becomes successful and make you a good amount of money too. Focus on becoming good first and let money come after. Honestly, he did a more in-depth version as to what Preston said, but yeah, what him and Preston said is true. I think that I'm pretty set then, because truthfully, even though I know how much money game devs make, I mean, yo, I've had some game devs flex on me, all right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm talking about, I'm seeing $1 million days off of some game. No, okay, not $1 million days, but $1 million in the last 72 hours in terms of Robux, all right? So honestly, even though money is really tempting, all right, I do also really want to make Roblox games, because I do still want to continue doing YouTube even when I do make games, and even in the future when I do make a front page game. See, there's one thing about me that I don't think a lot of people know or something. I can't quit on nothing, all right? Like I just don't know how to quit. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. And my main thing is, if I can see myself make at least 1 penny from something, I get like the craziest form of like fire, like an insane fire lit in me that makes me want to keep going for like however long, all right, until I reach the ceiling of that. However, I know that I'm going to continue doing YouTube, and I know how high the ceiling is with game developing compared to YouTube. See, think of YouTube like here, and think of the ceiling for game developing like up here. So let me at least see 1 penny with it. I don't care. I'm going all in. All right, well, I mean, I'm still doing YouTube also, but like, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that I don't quit. All right, I only quit when I just don't care anymore. But I don't know. I just can't quit, honestly. Realistically, I don't know. I just can't quit. Anyways, let's get on to the next game developer. And the next one was by my boy Woozy Nate, the creator of Fish. All right, let me just show y'all what he said. All right, okay, sick. First off, good luck and hope the best on your journey. And then next he said, for the advice, just want me to shoot it on here? No, shoot it here on text? Question mark. Meaning that, I guess he didn't say nothing after that. I told him, I said, yeah, bro, just shoot it here. Because normally we end up actually the majority of these developers that was in these like in this video, I normally text them on Instagram. All right, so like texting on Discord definitely was a little interesting, and I'm assuming that's why he asked that. However, if you guys want to see a part 2 where I ask more developers and more of my friends a piece of advice, let me know. Leave a like and subscribe. And then also, I got another idea that I really do want to do in the future with this channel. That's why I love this channel. It's going to be where I live with certain developers for 24 hours to see their day-to-day routine. And if you guys really want to see that, subscribe and stick around, because I'm definitely going to do that now. I mean, I already said it and I already had it planned, honestly. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe, be new to the channel, and I hope these pieces of advice not only motivated me, but also motivated you guys. Anyways, bye.